Well, one more time, hello everybody. Thank you for attending this webinar, especially because I know from people that are attending that you are joining us from different time zones, because some of you I do know. And thank you for making the time to join us. And during this webinar, we will be talking about the typical issues that the schools are facing when organizing the school buses for their students and the possible solutions that we can give to them. Together, I'm together with Claire. She is joining us from Power School, Claire Stenger. Hello, Claire.
Hi everybody. Thank you for having me. So glad to be here.
Well, she will be concentrating a little bit more on the advantages of system like BatOnRoute and the MIS that is Power School and the benefits of joining these two systems together. So she will also say a few words about their system. Now, before we get started, just one comment that you have a chat section at the top, so you can write your questions during the whole webinar at the end. And at the end of the whole session, we will make time to respond to the questions that you have. Okay, Claire, all yours.
Hi everybody, welcome. So nice to meet everyone. My name is Claire Stenger, and I'm here today to introduce one of our partners, BatOnRoute. We're thrilled to introduce this partner to the Power School ecosystem. And today they're going to shed light on their innovative solution that's reshaping the way we keep track of our students and meet the growing needs of our parents. Our partner, BatOnRoute, leverages their integration with Power School by bringing cutting-edge technology to the table, making life easier for school administrators while prioritizing the safety of our children. Before we dive into the details, I would like to take a moment to reflect on the Power School promise. If you're not familiar with Power School, the Power School ecosystem has always been about delivering new and innovative solutions that address the evolving needs of our customers. It's about enhancing the value of education through technology. We're the leading provider of cloud-based software in the K-12 space in North America, servicing 45 million students daily. Power School is also about enhancing the value of education through partnerships such as BatOnRoute. In this day and age, keeping track of our children has become more critical than ever. Parents and schools alike share this concern. The need for solutions that address these concerns have been growing, and BatOnRoute steps up to the challenge with confidence. BatOnRoute eases the administrative burden of daily tasks for schools, but more importantly, they ensure the safety of our students. Their innovative approach not only benefits schools and admin, but keeps our most precious assets, our children, safer in the process. Their dedication to innovation, efficiency, and most importantly, safety is commendable. I'm going to pass it over to Justina so she can tell you firsthand about their innovative solution. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Claire, for these words. Well, just to get started, what BatOnRoute actually is. So BatOnRoute is simply a software that has been created for the management of the school buses, and it is a powerful panel of control, but additionally, it gives this real-time information flow between the schools and the drivers, and also the parents, right? I say drivers, but in some schools we know that we do have minders, so it would be them who would be using the system. And the school simply gives the transparency to the parents, the transparency that they need while their children are being transported to and from school. And most importantly, well, BatOnRoute does not require installation of anything on the buses. We do not need any GPS on the bus, so we only need a mobile phone or a tablet. There's still some people joining, which is good, I'll be admitting. The GPS the BatOnRoute needs is on a mobile phone or a tablet on board. It means that if the buses do not belong to school, which very often is the case, we do not need to alter the buses in any way. Also, if there is a bus in a maintenance, or if there is a bus that has any problem, which very often happens, unfortunately, the parents still can track the whereabouts of their child without any problem. And we have been trusted by already 800 schools in 26 countries right now. It has been a last-minute change, which is not here reflected. Majority of our schools, of course, are European because we are based in Spain, but we do serve many schools in 4 continents already. And the system consists of 3 elements. And we have the app for the parents, minders, nannies, grandparents, so we can have multiple users per child, everybody with their own credentials, of course. Then we have the app for the drivers or minders on the bus. And then we have the backlog of the school. Both the apps are available on Android and on iOS, so it basically does not matter what telephone we are using. And when it comes to the app of the parents, so obviously we can track the bus on the map. We can see the real position in real time of the bus in which our child is. I can see the info only of my child. I don't know who my child is traveling with. I don't know where other children live. Okay, so when it comes to GDPR, we do respect it. And as you see here on the second screen, the parents also receive the pop-up notifications on the proximity of the bus, on possible delays, etc. And also the parents do have the itinerary with the information of the stops names, the time and any possible delay if we have any, or maybe we are before time. So when it comes to the notifications that we are receiving as a parent, they are generated automatically. So it is important because the minder or the driver only have to be with the children or drive, not be with the mobile phone. They just have to carry the mobile phone on themselves. But since we work with the geo zones, these messages are sent out automatically. And the text is pre-written. It's pre-written by the school. So it can be written in any language, in both English and the local language that the school has, for example. And let's move on. So when it comes to the parents, if the school lets them, only if the school lets them, the parents can generate the absence or even change the route for their child. For example, imagine if we have separated parents, or for any reason we want the child to be taken to some other location. There is no problem with other system. Like this, we reduce the admin tasks because we are not receiving those emails and phone calls from the parents. The parents, from the comfort of their own sofa, they can notify the school that their children are not coming to school tomorrow. So because of that, the bus does not have to collect them. And when it comes to the data protection, it's very important for the parents. As I told you, we only see the bus if my child is present on the bus, and I don't see anything about other children. I don't know the names, and I only see the data concerning my child. Also, I haven't told you, but when it comes to the absences or changing of the route, the school can establish the minimum time of before the route starts for the parents to notify about these changes. So if we don't want the last minute change on the side of the parents, then we can establish that it has to be half an hour before the route starts, minimum, for example. So it's very convenient. When it comes to the driver's app, we'll see it here. As you see, it is super simple. It's because, well, the driver's or the minder's job is be with the children, as we said. So this interaction with the phone should be kept to the bare minimum. As you see, we put the logo of the school on our app, so we try to customize it. But me as the driver or the minder, I would see the routes that I have to make in a day. No, so for example, here, as you see, I have 4 routes to do. And I don't know what my colleagues are doing. I only see what's mine. And then on the phone or a tablet, I would do what I would be doing on a piece of paper. We just digitalized this step. If a student is present, we would tick them with the green tick. If they are absent, then I would use the red cross. But this is as easy as well as it should be, no, because it shouldn't be time consuming. And also, in case of a driver, if the school lets me, I can have the mobile phone of the parent or a legal tutor. So in case of emergency, I can call the parent just by tapping on the number. So I can communicate with the parents of the child. And also, I have some like additional things, like the button that would take me to Google Maps or Waze in case we have a change of a driver, or I know there are some roadworks and we have to change the route in the last moment. And when it comes to the drivers, so there are some nice bits. Like, for example, we can be checking the attendance manually, but we can take it to another level and we can be more modern and introduce QR codes or NFC or even face recognition. But I have to be honest with you here, not all of the countries accept the face recognition. So it's also, if your GDPR allows that, European Union, it's still very difficult, but it's there in case we can use it. Many schools do have the QR codes already, or NFC cards, for example, to enter the school or enter the canteen or even buy something in the vending machine. So we can reuse this system for the busing as well. Also, when it comes to adding the students, if the school lets me, if there is a child who appears on the stop that is not theirs, we can manually add the student, because we would definitely download all the data from PowerSchool of the students. So if there is a child that appears on the stop that is not theirs because he was having a sleepover, for example, then the driver manually can start typing the name of the child and pop them on the stop that is real for them on that day. So like that, the parents in the school have real information. And also, if this child is not registered on the bus, maybe we have to charge them at the end of the month. So it's also very convenient and allows the schools to keep track of the users of our transport. And if, I'm sorry. Since we work with the geozones as the drivers, the good thing is that we are not receiving those phone calls from the parents or those text messages that sometimes the schools allow that to happen. So well, if for the security reasons, we try to cut it out completely, and the parents should have all the information on their mobile phones or tablets, so that they do not need this contact from the parents anymore. And let's move on to the next slide. So the next slide would show you the control panel for the school itself. Okay, so when it comes to the schools have the same information as the parents, but about the multiple routes. So when you open the panel of control, you see all of your buses. You know where exactly they are at every moment. You can see what students got on, got off, who was absent. So it gives you this real-time information, and you do not need to wait until the route finishes to see what has happened during the route. And if there is any child that is missing and it hasn't been notified to you, you can react very, very quickly, calling the parents, asking where the child is. And well, the school also has a very powerful control panel with BatOnRoute, because you can assign routes, create new students. We have still people joining. That is so good. Okay, so we can create the new students. We can assign the stops to the students, and we have everything in one place instead of having multiple Excel sheets, which is very time consuming and not that convenient. And with just one click, you can see any report. You can see all the students that were absent today, or the stops where the bus was late. Later, investigate why was that. Maybe we have to reroute. Also, you have a tool that allows you to communicate with the parents in an easy way and in real time, because we spoke about those automatically generated notifications that are created by the geozones, but you can notify to the parents anything that you wish, really. For example, change of the route, change of the vehicle because of the weather conditions, etc. So you can forget already about creation of I don't know, emails to the parents, or even worse, WhatsApp groups. I say worse because I think WhatsApp is prohibited by the GDPR. So you have a powerful tool for the contact with the parents. And sometimes, we are laughing in the office, but we say that anything that you buy on internet nowadays, we always laugh here in the office about the pizza. You buy a pizza and you know where it is at all times. Until it reaches your house, you know its whereabouts. And sometimes it's not the case with your children on the school bus, which is not funny, actually. So it should be changed, and we believe that it's going to be changed soon. And very often we speak with the schools, And sometimes the schools say to us that, yeah, but it's not me who organizes the school transport. It's the third party. I work with the bus company. They are the ones who organize the school buses for me. Then my first question to the school would be, but when the parents are concerned, or when there is any emergency situation, where do the parents call? Do they call you, or do they call the bus company? Because I think that it will be the school, right? Because the school is the organizer of the service. So very often implementing a system like ours, this gives this confidence to the schools and gives them the sense of control of what's happening in the buses, even though the buses are not theirs. And there is no necessity then for them to wait until the route finishes to call the minder, to call the bus company to just find out what has happened. And in real time, if a concerned parent calls me, I'm able to tell them, yes, your child is on the bus. And to respond to this question for whom BatOnRoute is, we work both with schools and bus operators. If the school is lucky enough to have their own fleet, then it's a few headaches less for the school. But well, every country is different, every school is different. So very often this fleet does not belong to school. Then we work with the school or with the bus operator. Sometimes the school tells their bus operator, listen, I want a system like that. Or sometimes it's even bus company that approaches us and says they want to implement a system like ours, because when they give a proposal to the school, they already place a system like ours in their portfolio, just for this, just to be different from the rest of the companies who are maybe applying. No. And let's move on to the issues. Our system resolves many of them, but we are always very happy to listen to our schools. This is how we improve. And majority of the schools that we are working with, no matter where they are based, if it's Latin America, Europe, Asia, all of them mention the same things. And it only shows that transport is difficult all around the world, and all of you have to deal with the same issues. And we have listed them a little bit here. So always when we meet in the demos with the schools and ask them how we can help you, what are the issues that you want to solve with a system like ours, the schools usually say lack of control. This is the first thing. The schools very often are even afraid of organizing transportation, of being responsible for it, because very often, as we said, the fleet is not theirs. The drivers are not their direct employees. The attendants maybe either. So they are providing a service, the schools, I mean, and have to stand by it. But actually, they have very little knowledge of what's happening on the buses. And sometimes we were speaking with our schools, and the operations manager, the transport managers were telling us, no, sometimes I'm taking my car and I'm driving around the city just to check where the buses are, if they pass through the bus stop on time, and if we can make it easier and more convenient for them. So why not automatize it, right? Then another thing is emergency situations. Always when we speak with our schools, it happens everywhere. In Spain, there have been some cases recently that were very prominent on the news about the forgotten children on the bus. Now it's early in the morning, small little kids are sleepy, so sometimes they fall asleep on the bus. And although the bus driver or the attendant should walk through the bus and check if there's nobody left behind, sometimes they don't do it because of any reason. No, so sometimes it happens that there is a child left on the bus sleeping, and you can do 1,000 trips, all of them perfectly fine. But this one time, if you leave a child on the bus, you are going to be on the headings of all the local newspapers, which has happened in many schools here in Spain, and also I'm sure all around the world. So we have developed a system for that. We are placing a QR code at the back of the bus so that we make this attendant or bus driver walk through the whole bus just to scan this QR code and make sure that, if they cross the whole bus, there is a high chance they will see a child that hasn't been visible from the front of the bus, right? And believe me that the attendant or the driver go to the end of the bus stop, because if not, we are going to be able to track them. And even if they forget to do so, the school can see it from the panel of control that, oh, there is a route that hasn't been closed. So you can react very quickly, just to contact that bus driver or attendant and check if everybody has left the bus. Another thing is, well, external factors like weather conditions. No, so the typical issue of the parents all around the world: you are always late. You are late, or sometimes they say the buses are before time. I'm standing on the bus stop. There is nobody coming, and sometimes it's not true. So the school has this, and the drivers as well have this powerful system to tell you, look at the time log. I was there. It maybe was you who were late, and now you're telling me you were before time, but you have hard evidence that nobody can discuss with, right? And the buses will be late. The traffic is getting heavier and heavier all around the world. We cannot fight that, unfortunately. Sometimes we have heavy rain. So the buses, it's not the fault of the school, not the fault of the bus company, nor the driver that the buses are late. But as long as the parents are informed, and I can, not stand on the bus stop in a pouring rain for 20 minutes, I'm happy to go to do my chores and come back when it's needed, right? Also, some schools are quite reticent to giving this information to the parents that we are late, but they are going to know anyway. So I suppose that the more transparent you are to the parents, the more confidence the parents have in the service. And another thing is that the schools are mentioning is the long lines of cars in front of the school in the busy morning hours, especially when the children are being dropped off to school. And the streets around the school are clogged because of the heavy traffic, and sometimes it can lead to very dangerous situations, not to mention the fact that, well, the parents are super stressed, but sometimes the children are being dropped off in the middle of the street, which is super dangerous and should be avoided at all costs. So if we put the buses, if we set up the busing system in our school, we can maybe avoid these situations, clean the streets a little bit. If we can take away 30 cars, just placing one bus that transports 40 children to our school. So imagine how many cars less you have in front of the school in the morning. And of course, this goes hand in hand with the green issues that we are going to move on to in a second, because so many cars in front of the school, we are contributing to CO2 production. And sometimes the parents live in the walking distance to school, and still they take the car just to drive this one child to school, which leads to those heavy lines of cars. And what solutions? What can we do? So, well, apart from everything that I have mentioned, of course, digitalization, the digitalization of our bus routes, and simplifying the processes. If there is something that can be automated, let's automate it. If we can get integrated with Power School and save this admin time for the for our workers, then why not? And also setting up the bus system, the new bus lines, just to cover the whole area and make it possible for the parents to bring their children to the school. And also installing this this transparent system, like for example BatOnRoute, would highly help with our daily runs, providing the real-time information also to the parents, because it boosts their confidence, as we said already, making our system transparent, taking away the cars, so lessening the carbon footprint, and of course what we have mentioned already, the closing the route with the QR code. This is highly helpful. And now that we are with the green issues, let's move on to the next slide. So here in Europe, the local governments try putting up some schemes nowadays, like for example going to school on walking to school bus, or even there are some areas where the local governments try to implement riding to school on the bike. In both cases, always there is a teacher or any worker of the school that goes with the children. Sometimes even is the police officer, so who helps us with the task. And this is what we said, if we have a bunch of students living in a walking distance from the school, like for example 800 meters, then it's more environmentally friendly that these children walk to school together with the teacher, for example, or the police officer, rather than the parent taking the car and driving this one child. And like that, we lessen the carbon footprint, and that is produced by the schools. And at the same time, with BatOnRoute, we can give the information to the parents about walking to school bus as well. So the system will tell the parent when the student joined us, joined the group. As soon as the group gets to the school, the parent would receive the notification that that your child has reached the school as well. So we are concentrating here on many issues. Here we have the walking to school bus, as you see. These will be the teachers, but very often here in Spain, especially, these are the police officers that are taking part in the schemes as well. And now we are concentrating on the schools and on the parents, I'm sorry, I skipped the slide. We are concentrating on the green issues, on the parents, how we make them happy, etc. But some of you may be asking yourselves, what do we gain as a school? No, what are the benefits? This is yet another program that I have to populate with data. It's yet another program that I have to learn how to use. So what do I get from it? What is the benefit for us? So we listed here some things that were already mentioned. So first of all is reduced flow of emails and telephone calls, no, because we give all the information to the parents on the app. The parents know where the bus is, if their child is on the bus, if the child reached the school. So there is no necessity for the parent anymore to try to contact the school, or even worse, the driver or the minder. And also, well, happy parents, which for the schools very often is happy clients, right? We give them something additional. We give them information in real time, which boosts their confidence in the service of transport that we are giving to them, because we give them the real time information. So finally, happy parents, which is very, very important. And also the confidence of the schools themselves in the service that they are providing, because you get the confidence of what is happening in the routes, what children are present, what children are absent, etc. And I would like to finish by concentrating a little bit on our little ones, on the students, because we are concentrating on everybody with the exception of the most important factor that for us is, well, the children, the students. And I think, going to school on the bus really helps the students in many ways. You make friends, right? You establish social relationships with the fellow students, not only from the same class, but also from other years, different ages, just children who go on the same bus. So the children work on their social abilities, and also this time spent in the morning to get to school is not boring anymore. You don't have to be sitting in the car with your parents, but you are with your fellow students, so it's fun. And also, I think it evolves the sense of responsibility in the children, because they learn how to move around in the city, how to take the bus, which will give them maybe some necessary skills in the future. So the students usually claim to be really happy, really excited to go to school by bus. And so this is yet another point of boosting the school runs and making it as popular as possible. We have one person joining us right now, but Geoff, you just joined us, but we are we are almost finishing, but it's being recorded, so I'll be sending you the recording of the whole bit. And for the moment, it will be all when it comes to our part. And thank you so much for attending. And well, this would be the moment to ask questions if you have any. I see that we have some things in the chat already. Okay, Monica is asking, is it translated to Arabic? Yes, it is. It is, because we do have a school in Yeah, Gio, don't worry. Yeah, I'll send you the recording, and if you have any question, let me know. Okay, Monica, it's translated to Arabic because we have some schools in Morocco and in Kuwait, so we did translate it. Also, just taking advantage of this question, we always translate our system to the language that the school requires. Okay, and it's free of charge. No problem. And can I try it free of charge? Yes, yes, of course. We always, when we start working with a new school, we give this period of a trial. Usually it's 1 month. Now we have very strange dates, so we can discuss it. So you can try it without any commitment, of course. Matt is asking, can you clarify what data you need to have from PowerSchool? Does it automatically sync or is it a manual transfer? Okay, we need the data. The data that we do need is, of course, the student's name, surname, the tutor, so the parents' name, surname, and the email address of the parents. So this is a requirement because the parents would be receiving the credentials on their email. Now, additionally, if you want to, as I was saying at the beginning of the webinar, if you want to call the parent, if you want to give the possibility to the driver or minder to call the parents, we would also take the phone number. If you have a lot of transport and you require to place a photo of the child on the system, we will be taking the photos from PowerSchool as well. So the rest, bits depend on the requirements of the school. And we do synchronize automatically. And also we do synchronize the absences. So on a daily basis, we read the absences. So if you have an absence in PowerSchool, then this child, of course, will be taken out automatically from the bus list.
It happens automatically. You wouldn't need to manually export any files.
Yeah.
With the integration.
Okay, then Monica, great. Can I see a demo to see how it works? Yeah, of course. You have my email address here presented on the screen right now. Claire's as well. Well, Claire will not be able to show you the BatOnRoute part, but I'll be happy to do so, and without any commitment either. Brett asked, can you describe the PS BatOnRoute integration plugin, manual export API? I think Claire, it's yours, right?
Yes, yeah. So this would be a plugin, and it's not going to be a manual. They're one of our official partners, so they have full access to our API, just as Justina mentioned. So any rostering information they would need that you would be necessary to make the app and the transportation solution work. So up to the level of a parent phone number or guardian information, just like she said, if we have, parents from a separated home and students maybe be taking a bus from one house or another house, all of that information would be automatically, transferred, and it wouldn't be a manual update. So.
Then Paul asks, how can partnerships with other service providers be integrated to offer customers a more comprehensive transportation experience? Well, I think this one is for me. So yeah, apart from PowerSchool, we are open to integration. So it would be just to speak with the providers in question. Our tech people, which is not me, definitely should speak with the tech people of the company in question. But yeah, we do work with other providers. For example, extracurricular activities. There are some systems that are used only for extracurricular activities. We can read the students and their attendance to those, and if they're absent, take them away from the bus list on that day or period of time. So no problem. Matt is asking, do you support Google or other single sign-in, or do the parents need a separate email or password to log in? The parents do need a separate email and password, their email and a password. Now, we can make a single sign-on. We haven't developed it on Google yet, but if this is a necessity, we can of course look into it. We are many developers here, so we evolve by schools asking us to do things, and sometimes we can take time because we have a long list of things to do in our roadmap, but of course it can be done. And of course, parents can change their password or even place the biometrics, but yes, it is usually a separate app. And Kathy is asking, is attendance fully synced? If a student changes from absent to late, is the absence automatically removed from BatOnRoute? Absent to late, is the absence? I'm not sure, Claire, is this question for you, you think, or?
I'm not sure, but yes, I would think that if it is being updated by the parent in the app, it's going to automatically sync um,
Yeah,
from either the admin portal or from a parent saying it from their home that their child is absent. As soon as the SIS is aware of the absence, it would automatically transfer that information.
yeah.
I hope that answered your question. It was Kathy.
Yeah, however, Kathy is well, we know Kathy here in the house, but Kathy, I'm going to double check with our tech team and I will let you know. But well, it should be like that, no? As long as this info is in PowerSchool, we should be able to read it. But I'll come back to you with the answer. And Tony's asking, does it work with the PS Parent Portal account?
The integration, I don't believe is accessible with a plugin in the parent portal at this time. But that's
No.
something, again, Justina and I could, get back to you on. If that's
Yeah.
something that you would like to see built, we can definitely work on that as a project for our
Yeah.
customers.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it some time ago, but since there was no necessity, we left it behind. But if this is a necessity for the school, then why not? We always say here, our tech people always say everything is possible. Tony's saying thanks. Yes, one login for everything. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, there was another question.
How
Chantal
are
is
the,
asking. Yeah.
yeah, how are the route stops entered?
So when it comes to the routes and the stops, we usually give our customers a template, an Excel template showing the information that we need. If the school, I'm sure if you're not using any system right now, you do have your own spreadsheets. So if you send these to us, our team will do this upload for you. Okay, so this is something is a part of the service. We prepare the system for the school, and then of course the school can be as independent as you wish. So we will show you how to create a stop, how to remove a stop, and you can do it yourself or always pop us an email and we do it for you. Tony says yes, yeah. So Tony, I will speak with especially with our technicians, with tech people with PowerSchool, and I will come back to you on the information if we can do it and how long it would take for us. And also Matt is saying, I'm assuming that the app requires location data to track the bus. Is this possible to also turn off after the route is closed, or does it always stay on? No. It's the location is read by our system only when the route is ongoing. Okay, so when you start the route, me as the parent, when I open the app, I see nothing. Okay, I see the school's building, the streets around it, nothing is moving. Then there is a button on the driver's or minder's app, start the route, activate the route. As soon as I activate, tap on this button, then I am visible. The bus is visible for the parents. And then once the last stop is finished, I stop seeing the bus. Okay, so I don't see where the buses are when my child is not present on them. Okay, when my child leaves, I stop seeing the bus. Also, you remember we said this closing the route with the QR code. Sometimes we make this location longer just for the driver to go to the end of the bus and scan the QR code and then automatically closes. So we don't have to depend on the driver either to remember to close it. Albina says we have 2 bus services in afternoon and it's visible to drivers that specific student left the school with early bus. And it's visible to drivers that specific student left the school with early bus. Okay. Albina, I'm not sure if I understand your question. I don't know if you can clarify it to me. Well, I'll move on to Chantal, but Albina, can you clarify the question that you have? Okay. Chantal says, how easy is it to make changes to the routes and stops? Super easy. Super easy. Actually, I don't want to bore you to death here, so I'm not going to show it to you. But if you want, we can meet for a demo. I can show it to you how it's just, creation of the stop. You can just look for the stop on the map that is supported by Google Maps, and you just place a name to it, and that's it. Then you just have to assign students to it, and you can place the stop in any route you wish. There is another thing on our app that I haven't mentioned. We have a button on the driver's app that serves to geoposition the stop. Okay, so you can create the stops, not put it on the map because we have a human error. Now we also sometimes bus stops in a specific place that we do not know how to place on the map. So we can use our app to pinpoint the stop in the correct location. Tony asks, it doesn't pull the route number or bus numbers and stops in PS. If you have this data in PowerSchool, we do pull it, yes. They have API, we do read it, so there is no problem. I'm saying that sometimes we do it from, very often we do it from the template because not every school places this info in PowerSchool, but if you do, we take it. Chantal is asking, is it possible to make it so that the drivers see the exact address of all the stops and the parents only see the exact address of their own stop? Yes. If we have door-to-door, which usually happens, then we hide all of the stops and we leave the stop that is only the parents. Okay, so I can only see my own stop, and then the drivers see everything, of course. But the other, I don't know where the other children live, so of course I can hide them. You can do anything, it's a software. So we have some schools that said, oh, I don't want the bus to be visible for any reason, no. So we can make things disappear regarding your needs. I'm waiting for Albina to clarify the question, but I don't know if she's with us. Thank you, Chantal. I hope that I pronounced your name well.
She says the bus goes 2 times in the afternoon.
Oh.
Sometimes some of the students use a 15:20 bus and then a 16:40 also.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah. Isn't two-way synchronous PowerSchool? So I have the same question. Okay, Matt said it is a two-way sync with PowerSchool. So any changes in the app, do these get reflected in PowerSchool also? If PowerSchool, yeah.
I don't believe so yet that you're pushing data back in.
Yeah.
I think that they're using, as Justina said, all the rostering and they're pulling data. But if that's something that you would like to see pushed back into the admin portal, we can work on that.
Yes, we can, but I have to add here one thing because well, PowerSchool is one of our best partners, but we work with other MISs, smaller ones, for example, here local in Spain. And I know that there is a trick to it that you have to remember, because imagine that the student is absent on the school bus. So I suppose this is where you want to go. So you want us to push this absence back into PowerSchool. But then, however, how do we know this is an absence? No, because maybe the child is having a doctor's appointment and will be going to school. So then who do we listen to, BatOnRoute or PowerSchool? So I would be really, really wary with that, but we can work on it, of course, but we have to be really clear about the processes, no? Albina is saying that, yeah, if we have the late buses system, Albina, okay, we have created a late buses system in which the child can be entitled to the late bus, and then the driver can indicate through the app that the child is going with them. Okay, so there is no problem with that. I will make sure I'll send you some information tomorrow together with the recording. Then Veronique, how do you deal with on-demand pickup of students? Okay, Veronique. When it comes to ad hoc trips, what we have created some ways, but what works the best, and many of our schools do that, is we have this section of occasional trips. And what the schools do is give the access to our app to all of their parents, no matter if they do use the regular runs or not. And if they want to book the place on the bus for a day or a period of time, they can do it through there. We control the seating on the buses. So if there is available place, I will be able to book a seat for my child. If no, I'll be informed that there is no place on the bus. And both, if you, for example, if me as the parent, I call the school and you would put my child on the bus as the transport manager, then if there is no place on the bus, you don't have to remember that. The system will also pop information to you that there is no place available on that route. And then, of course, you have plenty of reports and you can pull the data on how many, did I have any ad hoc? Do I have to charge for that? So I hope that it answers your question. Okay, Matt says, so to clarify, if a parent notifies BatOnRoute of an absence, this cannot be reflected in PS. No, although we can look at it, but we have to be really clear with how we do it. If the student doesn't use the bus one day, they need to let the bus know not to collect them, but there is no way to mark them as absent or late in PowerSchool. For the moment, there is no way to do that, but if it was something necessary, we can sit down with Claire and her team and try to reflect it. However, it can lead to problems, no? Because we would reflect that child as absent. However, later you have to rectify it because maybe this child was brought to school by car by their parents. But yes, at the moment, what we do, we pull the absences from the power school. And in case, for example, the parent knows that the child goes to school but doesn't want the child to be picked up by the bus, they would notify on the BatOnRoute app. Will the system remember the route and the stop of the ad hoc students? Veronique asks. Yes, it does remember, but for the period of time that you indicate, Veronique. So, for example, if there is an ad hoc trip for a week, it will remain in the historical data, but it will disappear. So, if this ad hoc is repeated, then you'll have to establish it one more time. As long as at the beginning of the school year, you know that it will be something repetitive. No, so for example, the separated parents. Imagine that you know that every second week the child will be using another route. So at the beginning of the school year, you would establish this ad hoc route for this child for the whole year. So then the system remembers. Well, that was a lot of questions. I feel like in the exam. Well, I think that there is nothing more that people are not asking anything. That's Oh, can a student be on multiple routes? Yes, of course. In case of, for example, separated parents, or not only separated parents, imagine that I have plenty of extracurricular activities, so I can be using different routes. It is my calendar, no? So if I'm a child of separated parents, I can every second Friday, every second Monday use another route, because, well, these are my circumstances. So one child is not assigned to one route, one stop alone. Paul says, sorry, can the system be implemented in Australia? If so, how long would it take to put it in place? Okay, yes, it can be implemented in Australia. Actually, we used to have a client in New Zealand that is fairly close, but we have clients from all the time zones. We have quite a few clients in Kazakhstan, for example. This is 5 hours ahead of us. So it works, it's software, so it works without any problems. I should know where you're going with this question, probably the technical support. Know what happens if you are sleeping and I need something, I have an emergency situation. So here at Nuncis, apart from BatOnRoute, it's a big technological company. We are working with many things. And one of those things is data center. So we need to have people here 24/7 because something can happen at any time. So we need people here in situ always. That's why we have 24/7 technical support. These people can help you with N1 questions, so like the basic questions with the usage, the typical ones. Now, the parent didn't receive the password. These people will be able to help you. However, if you needed something more complex, then it would be the team of BatOnRoute that is working in the Spanish working hours, but it's not an emergency situation. No, if imagine that the system stops working, there are people who will react. Although it didn't happen yet, so I'm just, imagining the possibilities. And how long? Oh, sorry, there was a second part to it. How long would it take to put in place? In normal situation, if there are no constraints, it should be 2-3 weeks maximum. Okay, I'm saying no constraints. What can be the constraints of? Well, the bigger the transport the school has, so of course it can be a little bit more time consuming if the school decides, okay, I want to start with 6-5 routes and then scale it up every so often. Now every 2 weeks I'm adding a few more routes. We have schools that have 50 buses in the morning and 50 in the evening. So the implementation in their case lasted, I think, around 1 month and 1 week. During these first stages of implementation, we do not add the parents because we want to make sure that everything works smoothly, that the drivers know how to use the app, that they are not forgetting to share the GPS. No, so we observe you very closely during these first weeks, but usually it's like 2-3. And Matt asks, if a student gets off at the wrong stop, is there a way to track this? Okay, so of course, you as the school, you have the real-time info. However, there is no alert that would alert you that this has happened. we have it on our backlog, and it's something that will be added very, very shortly. However, the students get logged off when they go out from the bus. So the students simply would not appear on the stop. Then the driver or the minder should react like, hey, you shouldn't be here. Even if we are using the QR codes or NFC cards, there is like a buzzing noise saying like this is something wrong happening. But we are looking at the ways to, if this does happen, we are looking at implementing an alert on the backlog. So this is something that will appear. But if it has happened, you will see it. Now you will see what stop. You even see the coordinates of the stop where the children have been picked up or dropped off. Okay, I think there are no more questions. This is the last moment if you want to know something. And yeah, you have our email addresses. So if there is any question for PowerSchool, just feel free to contact Claire. I will be super happy to also help you with any query you might have about BatOnRoute. Thank you, guys. Oh, Kathy has a question. For absences, a student may be present in PowerSchool, but physically absent, therefore not taking the bus. We manage this with the set of override codes we provided you. But is there a better way? I'm not. I don't know if you can take this because this is very technical.
Yes, I think this would be a good question that we could take offline. And Kathy, I'm happy to get back to you over email to help sort this question out with Justina.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it's because Kathy is a customer of ours, so that's why she's already using the system. And yeah, there are some queries that she might have. So yeah, Kathy will come back to you. Claire will come back to you with the technical answer to it. Well, Veronique says, thanks, Claire. So thank you guys so much. It was such a pleasure to have you here. I was really nervous at the beginning, but you made it very easy. Thank you for all the questions. And yeah, I'll be sending you the recording tomorrow. So if you have any question, just let me know through email.